Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tech Talks and Soul Walks, and I'm your host, Julie Kubiak. So as you can see today, I'm flying solo again, and in this episode, it's a Soul Walks episode, and I've decided to discuss law of attraction. Now, law of attraction to different people means different things. To me, it also encompasses visualization, putting out that desire, that want, that need for anything that you actually want. And when I say in life, I'm only obviously talking about this life in this present moment here. So we're going to start off by looking at how to get in the right frame of mind for the law of attraction to work. Some people like to journal. Some people like to do mood boards. Some people like to write notes and ceremoniously burn them or, fold them up and put them somewhere. I don't know. Everybody is different. I've even heard of people that inscribe things into candles. All of this is intention. It is not about a right or wrong way. It's about you're putting out that intention of that is what you want, and therefore your routine, your steps that you get to go through to get to the desired outcome, they are unique to you, and no one person is right or wrong in saying otherwise. So just to give you an example, if you heard that writing or etching somebody's name in a pink candle and lighting it, you would actually get them to be thinking of you, or maybe to instigate a phone call to you, something like that. Now, that isn't just about witchcraft. That is, at the end of the day, that is the law of attraction. You're wanting it and you're trying to attract that energy. So you're putting out that thought process out to the universe, and obviously you want them to respond back to you. Now, this is where it's going to get a bit crisscrossy and overlapping in lots of different things, because you need to have the right mindset from the onset, and it cannot be a mindset of desperation, neediness. I can't think of some of the other words now because I try so much not to think of negative words. I'm more of a very positive person. And if you know me outside of this podcast, you do know how positive I actually am over different things. So you cannot be coming from a position of lack, let's say. Let's take that as a starting point. So let's just say you want to manifest. What can we manifest today? Let's think. We want to manifest, let's say, a free trip, or money to go to London, or money to go somewhere with. So if you sit there and you say, I haven't got it, that is obviously negative. If you write it down in a journal and say, I want, again, that word want is putting out to the universe that you don't have it at the moment. So one trick is to actually live your best life as though you're in it now. So when you're putting out to the universe that you want to go to London, let's make it like that. You want to go to London. You haven't got the money. Let's say there's a bank holiday coming up now, and you need that extra money. And although you've got the money, you just want that extra money to make sure that it's a special trip. You could buy something that you want and you wouldn't have to worry about finding that money. So you cannot come from that point of lack as though you don't already have it. So when you're journaling and when you're thinking about it, you have to live it, eat it and breathe it, or as they say, fake it till you make it, as though you already have it. Now, another tip is to do everything that you write down, all of your casting of spells, if that's what you do, or your visualization board, whatever it is, do it as though you have it, but do it almost in like the past tense. So you can say, thank you for giving me the money that allowed me to go to London. Thank you for bringing me my soulmate. Thank you for getting that refund that I didn't think was possible. So you're switching it to not being about what it is you want now. You're projecting yourself into the future. So you're kind of confusing in a nice kind of way the energy that is all around what it is that you're trying to put out, that you want to manifest. Now, it is all about a positive mindset. So as I've said already, you have to be positive. You have to live in that particular mindset that it is already yours, but don't let any negative thoughts come into the pattern. So if you get up in the morning and you get in your breakfast, or you're rushing around and you're saying, oh, I really wanted this to happen and this hasn't happened and it's going to be a bad day, you're going to attract a bad day to you, because you've already said to the universe, it is going to be a bad day. And the universe doesn't know about positive and negative in a verbal context. So it just hears words, and it hears the words that you're asking for. So if you say it's going to be a bad day, it's like, oh yeah, okay, we're going to deliver a bad day. Bad day over there to that person, please. And that will go over there. So you need to keep your words positive. So just to recap what we've looked at so far, you need to be looking at things from a positive perspective. You need to also be, if you're writing them down or saying them, you need to be saying them as though you already have it, kind of like in the past tense. But you have to keep everything else closed down and switched off. You don't want to overthink it. You may or may not have heard of the phrase about putting it out there to the universe. And it is about, exactly as we've just explained, it is setting your intention, what it is that you want, that positive mindset. But once you've done that, or putting it out to the universe, you then have to walk away from those thoughts. Now, the reason that you have to do this is because, just as I said a few moments ago, the minute you overthink it and start to say, well, it isn't going to happen like this, or how am I going to get that money, or I can't see how it's ever going to happen, you straight away brought doubt into it, and you're bringing that negative back into it. And the universe then is again going to then just deliver you that doubt and that negativity back to you. So when they say, and put it out to the universe, kind of in quotes, that means go away and think about anything, just not what it is you've asked for. Now, that is harder than it seems, because if it's on your mind and if that's what you want to happen, you know that your mindset is just going to keep going round and round in loops saying, but I want it, but I want it, but I want it. And again, that word want is like a past tense. It's not a now, it's not in the future. So you have to say, I have it, I have it. Don't ever say, I want it. You've got to say, I have it, I have it. But again, by putting it out to the universe, if you can then go away and do something totally different, whatever you've asked for will eventually come back to you, or will eventually find you, because if you haven't had it, you can't then have it returned back to you unless you've had it in the first place. So again, it's this mindset of being either in the present, as in you have it now, or in the future, as you already have got it. Thank you very much. It was great. Thank you. You delivered it. Something else you could do as well, if you're wanting to tinker around with the law of attraction, is the simple age-old one that a lot of people know about, and that's asking the universe for a parking spot. And I used to do this all the time. You could ask the parking fairy, you could ask the parking angels, didn't matter who it was. You just literally say it out loud if you want to, if there's no one else that's going to laugh at you, or think it in your mind and just say, universe, get me a good parking spot, or get me a parking spot where I need to be. You don't know if you're going to have a flat tire and need to have that particular tire on the end of a row of cars. You don't know whether or not you're going to be buying something that was an impromptu purchase and you then need to get it in the back of the car. So maybe you need access to the rear of the car. So once you say, universe, give me the parking spot that I require or I need, then it will give you what you need now. You don't know what's coming in the future. The universe does. Okay? By doing that, you're testing the universe. So every time you go out and you go shopping, or you go out to anywhere where you'd need to take the car and park up, if you ask for parking space, which you need, it will get you that parking space. And blow me down on the times where I've had it and there hasn't been a parking spot for whatever reason, wherever it is I've gone, there has been a reason I was not meant to even get out the car at that particular time. And you don't ever know it at the time, but you just might get angry, frustrated, I can't find a parking spot, go round and round, and you end up driving off because XYZ then turns out to happen. A couple of times I've not been able to get a parking spot somewhere and I've ended up coming home early and I've just caught somebody that has turned up impromptu at my doorstep. I wasn't expecting them. Or a parcel's been delivered and they wouldn't have left it for me because it needed a signature and maybe I'd forgotten about it. So all these little things point you in the direction of the fact that the universe has your back. The universe knows when to deliver, and obviously, when is the best time not to deliver what you're asking for. For many years, I had a vision board, and my vision board looked nothing like they do on Pinterest. Trust me, I'm OCD. So everything had to be printed off. Either a particular size, had to be square corners, and I could not come to a point of putting any words on there which made it look like it was a ransom note, and it was just doing my head in. So I was printing off phrases and words, cutting them out so they were precise. Now, that vision board, I've changed it up over the years. I've maybe taken things off it because it's a physical big A3 piece of card. In all fairness, I got a piece of card from, I think it was the Range. Other shops are available and other A3 sheets of card are also available. But it was just a heavy duty board that I could literally use Pritt stick on it. So it wasn't anything that was going to be really stuck forevermore. And I could take things off, replace pictures and elements of the mood board or the vision board. And that is a good focal point for things that you actually want to manifest. And with the law of attraction, again, you're putting it on there as though you already have it, because you're looking at it as if to say, that's my house, that's my home, that's my car, that's my dog, whatever it is that you've got on your vision board, you are saying to the universe, this is mine. Now, to create your own vision board, there is no right and there's no wrong way of doing it. It is, again, about the intent. So if anybody tries to tell you, oh, you got to pay $40 for this vision board course, no, I don't think you do need to. It's more about what you want to put on that vision board, and it's personal to you. So it could have phrases from, in my case, I had song lyrics on there, but it could have phrases from podcasts. It could have little bits of text and elements of magazines that you've cut out from. And I know we don't do many magazines these days because a lot of it is online content, but there's nothing to stop you printing off bits and pieces that you see, photos, images, even colours. And together, that kind of brings your mind focused on what it is you want. And a vision board can also be used from a personal perspective. It could be used for a wedding. It could be used for manifesting your dream house, down to the colours and each rooms, what colour schemes you want. So even though a vision board is you putting out to the universe what it is you want to happen or how you visualise your future, it is also a very good place for doing a brainstorming or a brain dump or mind mapping, whatever you want to call it. So you're actually focusing and getting clarity on what you actually want to achieve. Now, taking this one step further, and again, this is all about the law of attraction. When you have your mind focused on what you want, you're kind of unknowingly then working and weaving your way through to get to that point and that stage. Now, the one thing that a lot of people don't realize is when they have a vision board, you're not thinking about how do I get there? How long is it going to take me? How much is it going to cost me? You've just jumped through all of that segment of it, and straight away you're there visioning the end goal. Now that is critical in anything in life. That again is that putting it out to the universe and then forgetting it or walking away from it. You said what it is you want. You then don't overthink it by saying, oh, but, I can't have that car because I can't drive, or I can't have that house over there in that particular area of the country because that's going to cost me too much. Stuff that, you just put it on your vision board and don't overthink it. So if you work with a vision board and you can put your visions, and the law of attraction works for that, why can't it work for things like asking for a parking space, asking for somebody to return your call, asking for a full credit note on something that you've returned, even though it was a mistaken purchase, let's say. Whatever it is, you've got to take away the element of how do I get there? That then is distracting you and it's taking you off your track, and you need to have that focus. You need to have that intent. And the law of attraction means that if you're focused on the end goal, everything else has to be mapped and put into place. That's not your problem. Just let the universe deliver that. I'm not saying sit back, because you have to put the work in to get there, but just see how then the universe is going to bring things in and put things in place to get you to that point. Just a little backstory here on how I've got to sort of the position I'm at, working and doing this podcast. I didn't even dream about doing a podcast, not for myself. I got visions of doing one for masquerading. But for myself, it was a case of meditating and trying to work out how am I going to get masquerading out and about. And then all of a sudden, there was like a side step, a side quest, as I'm jokingly calling it. And something happened and YouTube got in touch with me, and that kind of like snowballed. So just from being on a YouTube high five program, I'm now in touch with business and media businesses, film and television companies. And what started off as a dream when I was a young kid, actually in my teens, thinking I wanted to work in film and television, now all of a sudden the universe has said it's here. And I took a step back just the other day and I thought, this is bizarre. How did I go from wanting to do that to it is literally slapping me in the face? This is what you're supposed to be doing. And if you think about it, back in the day when I put that idea out, I would love to work in film and television, writing my own scripts, doing my own video producing, let's say. I didn't think that somebody like myself could do it all from the comfort of your own home. Didn't even have mobile phones then. So I didn't even think anything like this was possible. I was thinking you've got to have recording studios, you've got to have a contract with somebody, you've got to be seen. And I was thinking more sort of like television, radio, film, Hollywood. I was thinking on those kind of levels, because that's all that was what was around at the time when I was putting that thought out. So blow me down, moved into IT, didn't think about it again, didn't even think it was ever possible, because I didn't think about it. End off, I'd cut that thought out. Then the universe decides, right, we're ready to deliver this now. At a time when I was what I thought was busy doing something else, and I turn around and it's all here. And it's been 10 months of the most bizarre synchronicities and extremely bizarre circumstances and coincidences that has led me to what I'm doing today, and a lot of things that are also in the pipeline as well. I've got a film and television course that I'm going on, which runs for 6 weeks, and I'm starting that in May. And that's obviously going to bring my skills and my knowledge up to date with things. But what I'm saying is, I never thought it was possible, but I took away that stress because I didn't even think it was possible. But taking away that mindset of oh, I haven't got it. It was a case of, I want that. I want to do this, this, and this. And then, okay, 40 years-ish later, and the universe said, here you go, Nan. Now, that's what I call, if you know me well, you know exactly the phrase I'm going to come out with now. I call that divine booking timing. Divine booking timing. Because you don't know when the universe are going to deliver it. And you have no way of knowing when it is going to be delivered. So this brings me back round to the beginning, the law of attraction. If you are attracting things, try and put a time frame on it. A lot of things, if they are going to happen and if the universe are going to deliver them, you cannot force a timeline. Also as well, if it's to do with people, people have their own free will. You cannot force someone to come into your life. Maybe they'll contact you, that might be it. But ask for that person to contact you or someone better. Ask for a soulmate, particular person if you want to put a name on them, or someone better, because the universe know that yes, you might think you want that person now, 6 months down the line, 12 months down the line, who you want and who would be better in your life could actually change, but the universe know who is better suited to you. So take away the element of timings and take away demanding it has to be a certain person or a certain situation or a certain circumstance as to how you get that money, get that job, get that house. And the universe will just do all the other bits and pieces in between. And trust me, I've been there and it works. So thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Tech Talks and Soul Walks, and hope to see you back here in the next episode.